Hello students, welcome back to our class. For today's topic, we have rectangles, squares, and rhombuses. Under that, we have the definition and then the properties of diagonals of special parallelogram. Definition. Rectangle, a parallelogram whose four angles are right angles. Square, a parallelogram with four congruent sides. Rhombus, a parallelogram whose four sides are congruent and whose angles are oblique. Properties of diagonals of special parallelograms. 1. The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. 2. The diagonals of a square are congruent. 3. The diagonals of a square are perpendicular. 4. Each diagonal of a square bisects a pair of opposite angles. 5. The diagonals of a square form two isosceles triangles. 6. The diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. 7. Each diagonal of a rhombus bisects a pair of opposite angles. Let's proceed with examples. The figure at the right is a rectangle. If the diagonal JS or line JS is equal to 2x and the diagonal UT is equal to 12 cm, let's find out the value of x. Solution. Step 1. The diagonals of a rectangle are congruent, meaning JS is congruent to UT or line JS is congruent to line UT. When we say congruent, it is also equal. That means line JS is equal to line UT. Congruent segments have equal length. Step 2. Substitute 2x for line JS and 12 for line UT. Then we need to find or solve for x. So it will become 2x is equal to 12. To find the value of x, we need to divide both sides by 2. So we'll get x is equal to 6. That means step 3, the value of our x is 6 cm. Another example, given square VASE A. If line AS is equal to 30, what is the perimeter of the square? Remember, to get the perimeter of a square, we need to add all the sides. Since this is a square, meaning all sides are equal. So we have 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30, or it will become 4 times S or 4 times 30. So the answer is 120. Letter B, if the measure of angle 3 is equal to 90 degrees, what is the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2? By the property of parallelogram, measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal to the measure of angle 3. Since the measure of angle 3 is 90 degrees, then that means the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 is equal also to 90 degrees. If the measure of angle 1 is equal to 45 degrees, what is the measure of angle 4? Since we all know that all angles in square is a 90 degree, so if we cut one angle of the square, so 90 divided by 2, it is 45 degrees. So if the measure of angle 1 is 45 already, and then the measure of angle 4 is also 45 degrees. Letter D, if the area of the square is 25 square units, what is line ES? We all know that in getting the area of a square, it is S squared is equal to area, or area is equal to S squared. Okay, since our area is already given, which is 25 square, so we have S squared is equal to 25. To get the line ES, we need to square both sides. So square root of line ES squared is equal to the square root of 25, and then we get line ES as 5, because 5 times 5, that is 25. Remember this. Properties of diagonals of special parallelogram. Again, number 1, the diagonals of a rectangle are congruent. Number 2, the diagonals of a square are congruent. Number 3, the diagonals of a square are perpendicular. Number 4, each diagonal of a square bisect a pair of opposite angles. Number 5, the diagonals of a square form two isosceles triangles. Number 6, the diagonals of a rhombus are perpendicular. And then number 7, each diagonal of a rhombus bisect a pair of opposite angles. Thank you again for listening, and God bless.